Tashdile, this is Sakina Bhatt and welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly feature in English about this week's news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. Tibetans have turned exile into opportunity and adversity into blessings, says His Holiness the Dalai Lama. His Holiness the Dalai Lama confers Avalokiteshvara six-syllable empowerment on Holy Buddhist month. Support for Tibet means support for non-violence, dialogue, freedom, human rights and democracy, says CTA President in Frankfurt, Germany. We protest Chinese government's suppression of minority languages, says European Parliamentary Delegation. China bans Tibetan school children from participating in Tibetan Buddhist Holy Month festivities. Missing Panchen Lama in the international eye. On Monday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, while addressing the delegates of the Tibetan Women's Association General Meeting in Dharamshala, lauded their work in the community and encouraged them to continue the good work. The Tibetan spiritual leader said, "We have lived nearly 60 years in exile, but on the other hand, we have been able to take this adversity in stride and use it as an opportunity to re-establish our identity as a people of unique culture, heritage and religious tradition." Tibet, a country that was unknown and far-flung from the world, is today recognized worldwide for its rich cultural heritage and its contribution to modern science. His Holiness also expressed his conviction in the possibility of a peaceful world with women holding the mantle of love and compassion. His Holiness further commented that compassion must be taught as a part of education without religious bearings. His Holiness the Dalai Lama blessed Tibetans and other devotees with the Avalokiteshvara six-syllable empowerment on the beginning of the sacred Buddhist month of Sakadawa at Tsuklakhang on Wednesday this week. The Tibetan spiritual leader mentioned that the main crux of his practice is of twofold bodhicitta and that of view of emptiness. His Holiness further said that these teachings help us encounter our self-cherishing attitude and ignorance. On the basis of these teachings, all the happiness and joys come from dependence on others. The right attitude for taking care of oneself is in taking care of others. His Holiness later bestowed the Bodhisattva vows and explained the sixth syllable of Chenrisik Om Mani Padme Hum. The President of Central Tibetan Administration, Dr. Lobsang Singye, during his 5-day Germany visit, met with the President of the Hessian Parliament, Mr. Norbert Kartmann, at the Hessian State Parliament. At the Thank You Germany event, Dr. Singye expressed that the Tibetan community thanked the world for supporting the Tibetans for being with them through the difficult journey for 60 years. City Mayor Ovi Becker, present at the event, expressed his solidarity with Tibet and the Tibetans. At the 30th Annual Members' Assembly of the Tibet Initiative Deutschland in Frankfurt, Dr. Singye thanked TID for their sustained voluntary initiatives and support. Dr. Singye congratulated the organization for successfully hosting Tibetan flag in 361 cities across Germany this year. Claudia Roth, the Vice President of the German Parliament, officially received Dr. Lobsang Singye at the German Parliament. Dr. Singye testified at the Human Rights Subcommittee of the German Parliament. MP G.D. Ensign, the chairwoman of the Human Rights Committee, chaired the hearing. Citing the Freedom House Index that listed Tibet as the second least free country after Syria for 2 consecutive years in 2016 and 2017, Dr. Singye said that the present grave situation prevalent in Tibet that has worsened over the years replicates the Cultural Revolution. The 3-member delegation of the European Parliament, led by members of European Parliament Thomas Mann, Saba Sogor and Raymond Tremosa, addressed a press conference in Dharamshala on Thursday last week. The delegations expressed support for the middle way approach and condemned China's re-education policy and the suppression of minority languages.
We follow the middle way approach of His Holiness. We are, of course, against the so-called re-education program in China. we always protest against the suppressions which you have, and also you have to have the right of education. You have the right to use your language, to use your cultural affairs, to have all the opportunities to survive.
Sabasugor urged Tibetans to be prepared for the long-term future, which he said is more important than the short-term future. Raymond Trimosa expounded the importance of freedom for every individual in the world and said that everyone has a duty to ensure freedom around the world. China has imposed a series of measures prohibiting Tibetan school children from participating in the month-long Sakadawa festival, one of the holiest festivals of Tibetan Buddhism, which began on Wednesday this week. According to an order issued by the Education Affairs Committee, the Municipal People's Government and Municipal Education Bureau of the so-called Tibet Autonomous Region, Tibetan parents were ordered not to take their children to monasteries or allow them to take part in religious events during the festival. Tibetans were warned about Chinese authorities keeping a close watch, and those who violated the order would be dealt with. Although Chinese authorities have stated the ban was driven by the notion to keep religion and education separate and that religion cannot be used to hinder state education, many have criticized the move as suppression of religious freedom. On the occasion of the 23rd anniversary of the enforced disappearance of Gedon Chukinima, the 11th Panchen Lama of Tibet, the Department of Information and International Relations released a 3-minute video titled "Missing Panchen Lama in the International Eye." The video highlights some of the most prominent expressions of concern by the international community over the case of Tibet's missing Panchen Lama. So much for this week. See you next time and have a great weekend.